So in one of my latest videos on the channel, I talked about blues, I talked about how to improvise using the minor and the major third over the 7 dominant chords of a blues, right? And I was playing licks like, you know, like this, moving over the different chords, the 3 chords that you find in a blues progression, okay? I leave a link to the video in the description below in case you haven't seen it, if you want to catch up with this blues lesson. But today I would like to continue this, introducing how to improvise with the major and minor pentatonic scale. So this time we're going to use 2 different scales to improvise over the 3 chords of a blues chord progression. Now, just to briefly recap, guys, if we are playing a blues in A, the 3 chords that you find are A7, D7 and E7. 1 dominant 7, 4 dominant 7 and 5 dominant 7. I'm sure that most of you know that you can improvise over this chord progression using the A blues scale, the A minor pentatonic with the blue note. Right, and you might also have heard that you can also use the major pentatonic, so A major. And in order to play this, more likely you know that instead of playing the first shape, you will have to play the second shape, staying in the same area on the fretboard, so basically starting from the same A. Today I want to give you a different reference, okay? I want to make it even simpler actually. So when we play that A minor pentatonic scale, we also know that we could call this scale C major pentatonic, right? So depending on whether I consider this A the root, I will call it A minor pentatonic, or if I consider this note the second note, the C note, the root, then I would say this is the C major pentatonic, which effectively is the same because these are relative keys, so they contain the same notes. Now, if I look at the position of my little finger playing the C, if I slide it down to A here, from fret A to fret 5, then I will be playing here the shape 1 of the A major pentatonic. Okay, because I consider this my root now. Sure, this is the same as F sharp minor pentatonic if you want to think about it this way, but I prefer thinking about it as A major because it gives me the right references for the improvisation, looking at the right root notes, right? Okay, like that. So now that we've got both scales, the A minor pentatonic and the A major pentatonic, basically using the same shape, just 3 frets apart. Obviously, if you like, you can continue with other shapes. Maybe in A major, you can also use the second shape, as we said. We need to understand which of these 2 scales will be playing over the 3 chords. So over the first chord, which is A7, we already know that we can play the A minor pentatonic, so this time I would suggest, why don't we approach this in a major way, in a major perspective, and we only play for once, you know, the A major pentatonic over the A7, okay? So you can go here and play, this kind of thing. And then when you hear the second chord, which is going to be D7 after 4 bars of A7, I would say let's stick to A minor pentatonic, so the classic scale that everybody knows, okay? And then for the last chord, E7, I would suggest let's continue using the A major pentatonic like we were doing over the A7. Guys, this is just because these scales contain some notes which are particularly important for the D7 and E7 chords, okay? So when I look at the E7, there are a few notes of the A major pentatonic that really give me that bluesy sound, okay? Now, guys, this is not the only way of improvising over these 3 chords. We are doing like a path together, trying to understand all of the variety of options that you have available so that you can choose what you prefer and you can also create a variety quality of sound when you improvise. Let's also say that we really want to target the root notes for the 3 chords that we mentioned. So if I play over the A7, okay, which is gonna last for 4 bars, we also need to know the order of these chords. When I play over the A7, the first 4 bars, I really need to see the A here, the A here, the A here, any kind of A you are able to see on the fretboard to target that note when you play over the A7. Then after 4 bars, we've got the D7. We said that we're going to play the A minor pentatonic, but let's make sure that we see at least this note here, the D on fret 7 of the G string, so that we know that this is the root of the chord that we're going to play here. Then we go back to A7 for another 2 bars, okay? And we can target the same A's that we mentioned before. Then for the turnaround, in the last 4 bars of the blues, we start with an E7, and I would say, although we are using a major pentatonic, let's make sure that we target the note E, okay? Then we go back for 1 bar to D7, and we can keep targeting the D that we found here. Then 1 bar of A7, so back to a major pentatonic, targeting this, and then back to E7. We stay on the same scale, A major pentatonic, but we target the E, of course, okay? Now, this might seem complicated, but I'll try now to show you how you can do it easily, and I will put on screen which chord we've got in the backing track, so that you can see the relationship between the phrases, the scales that I play, and the chords. Let's get started with A7. I will only play things like then the D7 comes, we said A minor pentatonic, targeting the note D this time, back to A. And then E7, A major pentatonic, this time targeting the note E, D7, targeting the note D. Probably you can already hear that the phrasing is following the chords, then back to A major, and E7 staying on A major. Right guys, I hope this was helpful. It's just a matter now of practicing and making sure that you are comfortable with these positions, following the chords that you've got in the backing track. If you want to get extra resources from my videos, make sure to visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below, and if you become a Patreon, you will also support this channel to keep these lessons coming. That's all for today guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.